Hello, I'm Eric Jaffe. I'm one of the board members with Everything Blockchain, and I'm here for a quick impromptu interview with Mr. Michael Hawkins, the founder and chairman of the board of Everything Blockchain. Michael, what got you interested in blockchain technology and everything blockchain?
Interesting enough, 20-something years ago, I got a degree in computer science.
Uh-oh.
And I know absolutely nothing about it. So I said, hey, you know what? It's time to change thoughts here, and let's get a little more in depth, and let's put that degree to use. Blockchain came out, and as you know, we've been dabbling in the blockchain for 7-8 years.
Yeah.
It's been a while. The opportunity presented itself, and it's interesting how the company came about, right? It was a subsidiary of a publicly traded company that dealt in the cannabis industry. And originally it was formed as a
cannabis dating application.
Cannabis dating application.
How did you morph it from being that?
Failed miserably, right? So the CEO, which I'd been his CFO in that publicly traded company, which is how I knew him, came to me and says, it's a failure. I don't know what to do. What can we do? And I said, here's what we can do. We need to look at blockchain, not necessarily crypto, right?
Correct.
Crypto, there's value in crypto, but it's
so when you think about the differences, I've asked others as well, like when you think about crypto versus blockchain, what do you see as the primary difference?
Well, let's just say I'm all in on both, right? Okay, I love crypto as well as I love blockchain. This cryptocurrency is one element of blockchain.
Yep.
You know, it's the low-hanging fruit. It's the easy thing to get to the market and to put out there that people can adapt, adjust, and understand. You know, it's that entry-level road to what blockchain is.
Right.
And what we've done with Everything Blockchain, and of course, kind of, you know, how that name came about.
Yeah, how did the name come about? That's a great point.
Was the concept of we're not going to be everything blockchain because it's such a vast market.
Right.
But we firmly believe that in 10 years, maybe less, maybe longer, that everything done in society is going to have some element, either direct or indirect, dealings with blockchain. Whether it's with your medical records, whether it's with your financing, which we kind of see in the market today, and the decentralized and centralized aspects of it. And of course, all of those who have seen FTX and the issues that have happened there in that centralized environment. You get into the governments that have these centralized banking systems. There is a push for decentralized financing. Blockchain is geared for that, and there's an opportunity there. Still needs regulation and governance and oversight to ensure that the pitfalls of the past aren't repeated, but there is value in that. That people can understand and relate to very, very quickly. So you can use that as a platform to educate people on blockchain. And what blockchain really is that immutableness of information.
Correct. Unalterable.
Unalterable.
Highly secure.
That has value. You know, some of the folks that we've talked to in the oil and gas industry, you know, some of them are facing millions of dollars in fines because they can't prove the immutability of the data they're collecting.
So I know as you started the company, one of the things that you did to help accelerate its growth was you looked for some strategic acquisitions, one of those being what we call today EB Build. So tell me a little bit about what attracted you to that technology as what is today the foundational portion of our blockchain offering. What got you excited about it?
As an investor, as a looking at the outside and what I look at and what I wanted to bring in, it wasn't about the tech. It was about the people.
Makes sense.
And every strategic acquisition that we did, there was value in the tech that they offered, but what was most important about it was the minds of the people.
Right.
With the development of the EB Build and that particular blockchain. You know, I look at Cedric as an individual. His skill set is unique to none.
He's one of the brightest guys I've ever met personally, for sure.
And his understanding and grasp of blockchain is unmeasurable. So when I look at, investing in companies, I don't. The second thing I look at is what they actually have. The first I look at is who they
are.
have, right? And with these strategic acquisitions, from Tony to Bill, they have a breadth of knowledge and understanding, and their work ethics are people I want to be associated with. So I can get behind.
I know we've got a great team, man. It is a wonderful place to work for them. One more question about the tech itself. So when you look at EB Build, what do you see as some of those use cases? You hinted at one earlier. Are there opportunities that you're looking at in the market that you'd love to exploit?
Well, we're in the concept and process right now of multiple different streams, and when you really look at some of the future aspects of what we're looking at doing with EB Build, we've got a 10-year, 12-year, 20-year roadmap of projects out there, some that are going to come much earlier, some that are going to come much later. But when you look at what this blockchain can do with its queryability and its database management abilities,
Could be a real disruptor.
it's a unique blockchain that's nothing out there like it. And when you start looking at markets with huge data storage, immutability requirements, i.e. oil and gas, the hotel and the hospitality industries where you're dealing with people's information, when you look at healthcare.
Healthcare is a big vertical for
Healthcare
that.
is a huge one.
Yep.
And we're already in the process of developing medical, an EMR, electronic medical record, utilizing blockchain. So there's so many different levels and areas in which we can take this information. The airline industry is another huge opportunity that's in front of us today that we think will open up a lot of doors. We also have exchange services, not necessarily where we're going to be the exchange, but we've developed the technology to provide a banking/exchange service in that financial arena. Not that we're going to get licensed and we're going to do those kinds of things, but we have the tech to help those who are licensed in doing that, to give them both the immutability of the blockchain and the security of zero trust. And it meshed together.
I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, I know one of the other products that is in the lineup is EB Control. Maybe go back to the beginning. What was the first thing, aside from the team? You got a great team, Tony, Brandon, all those developers, an incredible group of people. But tell me more about what made you just say, like, man, I've got to have this as part of our portfolio.
It's funny because I just about this with the guys because I'm always picking on them, right? And Brandon is a very, very smart man, and of course, but he's so easy
to pick on.
And when I got the first presentation for EB Control, several renditions before we're at today, and after about 20, 30, 40 minutes, I'm kind of lost in the tech. Like I said, I got a computer degree, and I typically can follow it, but...
You mean those guys do too much tech speak every now and then?
Oh, man, they can go deep. They deep dive, man.
When they start talking about virtual actors and zero-key technology and all this crazy stuff.
Lost in it.
I get lost in it.
And they just think everybody understands what they're saying, right? Because what do you mean you don't understand that?
But I remember there's one simple thing that brought it home for you, and I can't wait to hear you share it.
And what happened was, all of a sudden, he opens up his email application, which was Microsoft Exchange. I use Microsoft Exchange. And he clicked one button, and he secured all of the email data and all the data that was attached to it. And I'm like, I get that.
Yep.
Everybody can get that. And that was the selling point for me, is we can provide unlimited lifetime across any platform. I don't care what you're on.
Right. Data integrity.
What you use. You own that data. It's your data, and it's secure.
For the entire life cycle.
For the entire life cycle. I don't care where you sent it or who you've given it to. The day you want to kill it, you can kill it. And you can pull it all back. And that, to me, was the defining factor that says, we got to do this.
I love it.
This fits into what we're doing.
So without obviously disclosing anything that would violate, SEC regulations and things like that, where do you see the future, like 2024? Where do you see in the next season ahead for EBI?
Well, if you're going to frame it into the point of don't violate any SEC, violation of the SEC reg doesn't necessarily happen with me. I can talk to you about the future, and we can make this public knowledge of what we're doing. Of course, when you start looking at projections and things like that, it's very difficult for us to pin down some of those, because honestly, while we're not a crypto company, we do have crypto assets, and those may fluctuate or not fluctuate over the years. Some things may launch, some things may not launch. So there's a lot from dollars and cents wise there
that you can't share.
The range is so wide in what we could do. We could do 4 million, we could do 50 million. It just really depends on how things pan out and who comes on board. What I do like, though, what we are doing, you're going to see some flagship customers come from Everything Blockchain this year.
I love it.
And when those flagship partners come out and customers come out, you're going to realize what we've developed isn't something that, hey, it's just another one of those companies out there with that there. We're going to disrupt the blockchain market this year.
So what gets you excited about the future of EBI?
Without saying everything about EBI, what I will say is this, everybody loves that EBI term. I like everything blockchain. But what gets me excited the most is the impact we're going to have on the regular people.
I like it.
And putting the power in their hands.
So if we switch to an investor's hat for a second, if I was an investor, why should I invest in Everything Blockchain?
You got to really look at the people and the tech and the clients.
Right.
If you look at those three and you're an investment company and you don't want to participate with Everything Blockchain, I don't need to sell it to you.
Right.
You either get it or you don't get it. And if you don't get it, I don't want to do business with you. But if you get it, you're going to want to do it. And let's just figure out how you participate with us.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for taking time to do an impromptu interview today. If you're interested in learning more about Everything Blockchain, simply visit our website, everythingblockchain.io.